Rob, this is the first time we've had a chance to talk to you since Ross Atkins made his media appearance on a Saturday morning of a holiday weekend. What were your thoughts on what he said, and just the fact that the timing of it was fascinating, wasn't it?
Well, it's stupefying, really. The last time that he had a press conference or a media availability on the Saturday of a long weekend was the worst press conference in the history of Toronto press conferences, one might argue, because it basically what it was and was Thanksgiving Day Saturday back in October, and the Jays tried to hide him and instead gave us a stories for the rest of the winter because he came off as so foolish when he threw John Schneider under the bus. It was just ridiculous again. Like not so much the content, but why would you put it on a Saturday of a long weekend? It's so transparent what they're trying to do here. It was the first time that he had spoken since the home opener. It's funny. Many of us on the beat now, though, it's to say it's eye rolling would be maybe a bit of an injustice, but he rarely says anything of consequence anyway. And I think if you're a Blue Jays fan trying to parse some of the verbiage that he let go that day, you'd be saying to yourself, why on earth can he tell us that we're just going to ride the ship right now? That's not what you want to hear.
Of course not.
Why can't you just lie and say, or not lie, but massage your words and say, every day we're looking to find a way to get better. We'll explore all opportunities. That's all you have to say, even if you have no intention of doing it. You don't just say we're going to ride the ship on a team that's 6 games below 500 and is showing no signs of any momentum all season, isn't playing well at home, isn't playing well on the road, and can't score runs. That's not what the fans want to hear. And he just seems to be obtuse to the point where he doesn't recognize that, I think. And I think that's how. I mean, performance is one thing, but I think just the way that he carries himself publicly is another thing that gets the fan base so irate at that front office. They've never been endeared to him since the day that he got here, him and Mark Shapiro, because at least Alex Anthopoulos was a guy that the fans could relate to and was a good face of the team. I mean, he speaks well publicly. He didn't BS. He was. You
he was always available. He was always available.
Always in the dugout. Ross is. You see him in the dugout occasionally, but it's nowhere near what Alex was. You could always get Alex if you needed him, regardless of what the issue was. And that, you know what, that's, to me, that's part of a general manager's job in professional sports.
Do you see a separation? We always put Shapiro and Atkins in the same sentence. Do you see a separation between those two guys at all? Do you get any sense of it, if it's even possible to get a sense of it?
I suppose there's a separation. I mean, Ross Atkins is more the day-to-day guy, but I'm convinced that there wouldn't be any decision of significance regarding personnel of this ball club that wouldn't go through Mark Shapiro first. And I suppose that's the way it works in a lot of organizations. But my hunch is that Mark Shapiro is more hands-on than he would acknowledge publicly. And he's sort of let that slip when you talk to him on the rare occasions that Mark Shapiro speaks publicly. It's clear that he's very in tune with all of the decisions that are being made and would have a hand in them. So yeah, no, I wouldn't separate the two.
Well, the two of them came over together from Cleveland, right?
Right.
They were pals there. And I think they're still pals. And that's why the general manager has not been fired. Period. That's my sense.
Yeah, I think you're right, Bob. And I think in a lot of ways that Ross Atkins is a shield for Mark Shapiro at this point. And maybe if there does come some pressure comes from Ed Rogers at the top of the Rogers chain, then he's got his guy at that point. But just to veer here, don't we have to wonder a little bit about what the upper echelon of Rogers is thinking right now? Does Ed Rogers wake up every once in a while and think, am I being hoodwinked here? We're spending $230 million US on this payroll on a team that's now 4 games below 500. I agreed to spend $300 million on renovations to an old stadium that, by the way, aren't done. And that, by the way, went $100 million over cost. would he not wake up one day and say, what am I doing here?